Got your dream university shortlist ready. Great. But now comes the real deal, the application folder. What documents do you need? What should be in that master folder that gets you one step closer to your admit card? Hi, I'm Judakshi Singh and welcome back to AcadFly's YouTube channel. Let me break it down for you a document by document so you're not scrambling last minute. The very first document is passport. Let's start with the most obvious but often overlooked, your valid passport. Make sure it's not about to expire anytime soon. Most countries require it to be valid for at least 6 months beyond your intended stay. Second is academic transcripts. These are your detailed mark sheets for class 10th, 12th and any college education you have completed. If you're applying for a master's, include all semester-wise transcripts and your degree certificate. And here's a tip. Always keep both scanned originals and notarized copies if your university asks for the same. Number third is SOP, Statement of Purpose. Your SOP is your voice on paper. It's your chance to speak directly to the admissions committee. But here's the catch. It's not a resume, it's a narrative, a story. What should your SOP include? Your background, who you are and what you have studied and what shaped your interest. Now, why this course? Second point should be that, not just the title, but why this subject excites you. Third topic, why this university? Refer to the specific faculty, curriculum, or opportunities. Your future goals, short-term plans after the course, and long-term career vision. Also, what makes you a good fit, skills, your projects, your mindset, your values, everything. Avoid generic lines like I've always been passionate about. Instead, show passion through real-life examples, projects, or internships. And here's a tip. Don't write one SOP and send it everywhere. Customize it for each and every university. Number fourth document is LORs, that is letters of recommendation. Think of your LORs as someone else vouching for your academic or professional abilities. These letters speak to how you work, think and interact in the classroom or your workspace. Now, who should write them? For undergrad applicants, subject teachers, school principal or activity mentor should write it. For postgraduate applicants, your college professor or internship guide should write it. And if you're a working professional, it includes at least one from your manager. What should a good LOR include? Very big question. A clear relationship context, how long the recommender has known you and in what role. Second, specific skills or achievements like leadership, research or communication. Then go for personal examples, not just X is hardworking, but how they demonstrated that. And here's a tip. Don't write your own LORs. Some universities cross-check tone and authenticity too. Fifth document is resume or your CV. Your resume is a quick snapshot of your academic journey, your skills and achievements. Keep it clean, minimal and relevant. What to include? Your contact details, your email, phone, LinkedIn, all of it. Your education. Most recent, first one, include board, university and percentages or CGPAs if you have. Then academic projects, only those which are relevant to your course or field, nothing extra. Then work or internship experience. Even short-term roles is counted. Next up, certifications like Coursera, edX or coding challenges if you have some. Then skills, soft like teamwork and technical like Python or AutoCAD. You can also add extracurriculars, debates, sports, community work. Show that you're well-rounded. Make sure the formatting is clean, fonts consistent and no typos. One page is ideal for undergrad applicants and 2 max for postgrad. And the tip is save it as a PDF named properly like resume, Shivani Gupta, UK 2025. Next document is English language test scores. Unless you're applying to a university that waives off English tests, that is non-negotiable. Most universities require IELTS and TOEFL scores as proof of English proficiency. What's the difference? IELTS is more accepted in UK, Australia and Canada. TOEFL is widely accepted in the US and parts of Europe. Some countries also accept PTE academic or Duolingo English test. Now, what's a good score? For IELTS, aim for at least 6.5 overall, no band less than 6. And for TOEFL, IVT, a score of 80 plus is considered decent, but top universities accept 90 to 100 plus. Make sure your test date is recent. These scores are valid only for 2 years. And the tip is always keep screenshots of your score report and test registration in case you need to re-upload. Now, I'll quickly give you a recap of your complete folder. The first thing should be academic transcripts, statement of purpose, letters of recommendation, resume or CV, IELTS or TOEFL score, entrance exam score, your SAT, GRE, GMAT, your financial documents and certificates or portfolio. This is optional. If you have, you should keep it. Remember, your documents speak before you ever get an interview. So make sure your folder is clean, complete and compelling. And hey, if you're still figuring it out or need help writing a standout SOP or structuring your resume, that's what we're here for. Check the link below and let's make your application stress-free and successful. Subscribe for more study abroad tips. Drop your questions in the comments. We're listening. See you in the next one.